Man, how cool is this? I had to come out here and film this morning because the leaves are actually just starting to fall, and every time we get a burst of wind, the leaves just, I mean, it's almost like it's snowing leaves out here in the backyard. They just start coming down hard. So I figured this week I'd film out here in the backyard today because I got a really cool video I want to share with y'all about a new kind of a bug out fishing setup that I put together this week utilizing the new Diamondback and some accessories that I picked up from Diamondback. So let me show you guys what I built. So a few weeks ago, I installed this new Diamondback HD bed cover on my truck, and I absolutely love this thing. And then last week, I filmed a video with you guys where I showed you how to install the Yakima Overhaul HD rack system with my rooftop tent and my awning. And by utilizing both of these together, I kind of have a quick detached camp setup. System where I can go from camp mode to regular everyday drive mode with no problem at all, really fast. As you can see today, I'm in everyday drive mode. I don't have my tent. I don't have to haul around my awning or my tent or the rack with me. It's all as one unit and in my garage, but when I'm ready to go camping, I can throw it on there. If you didn't see that video, it'll be linked today in the video description below. But last week I was riding after I did this video. I did the Diamondback video for you guys and I did the tent video for you guys. And last week I was driving my truck and I had this scenario happen. It always happens to me. And I wanted to see if it happens to some of you guys. So I live in Northeast Alabama here, and there's a lot of ponds and creeks where I, grew up and live and I see all the time. And every now and then I take a different way home, or I'm, going sightseeing or something like that. And I always come across this area that has a pond or a stream that opens up into an area, and the first thing I do is I look at it, I'm like, man, I bet you there's a fish right up under that tree. Or I say, I bet you there's a fish beside that log, or I bet this place never gets fish. This looks pristine for fishing. But then I can't do nothing about it because it never fails. I never have like my kayak with me or my fishing tackle or a rod. So all I can do is see it and just dream in my head like, I bet you there's fish in there that nobody's ever caught before. So yesterday I was on Diamondback's website, and because I had remembered I seen some attachments that they sell that can go under this bed cover, and I was able to kind of put a kit together of a system where I've always got kind of a bug out fishing setup with me. Now, I'm not talking about I'm running around all the time with a full tackle box and a couple of 8-foot or 7.5-foot bait casters, but I put together a simple system where I've got this one fishing rod, one little kind of bug out tackle box with a bunch of random different stuff in it that you could use at any creek or pond if you come across something you want to kind of cast in to see if there's a fish, and some other gear I was able to put together utilizing a lot of stuff from Diamondback's website. So if you are interested in looking into these Diamondbacks, be sure to look at their accessories. They've got a little area in there for this called accessories for these Diamondbacks, and I was shocked at the amount of stuff that they sell. And some of the stuff you can also get even if you don't have a Diamondback, like the Molly panel I'm going to show you today. You don't even have to have it on a Diamondback. You can mount that anywhere on your vehicle you want and have a dedicated area where you got all your stuff kind of attached to a Molly panel board. But so today, that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to take you guys off the tripod and kind of show you the setup I put together. I want you to let me know what you think about it. I don't just have fishing gear on there. I have some kind of emergency stuff on there, but it's out of the way. It's not taking up any space of my truck. Technically, it's, it doesn't weigh much. It's, you can't really justify a weight of a fishing rod in a little tackle box. So I'm just able to always have this with me. So if I do run across some pond that I can see that's never been fished and I got an extra 5 minutes to pull over and cast into it, I'm gonna be able to do that now. At all times, I'm always gonna have this little bug out fishing kit with me. So today I'm gonna show you my setup. I also went with the Diamondback front storage bin that is amazing. That thing, I didn't know they sold those until I got on the website looking for this stuff. But I ordered one of those. I got it installed last night. It is really cool. And if you follow the channel, you know that a few weeks ago, I did a rear seat delete in the back of this truck where I removed the rear seat. I built this really cool platform, and then I built a place to hold some gear and the dog bed and all of that. Well, I kind of redid that last night to make it more optimal for, you know, for me. So I've got more space back there to be able to use to haul stuff like my bow or a shotgun during hunting season. So I don't have to put it back here if I don't want to. I've got the extra room behind my seats where the back seats used to be in the truck. But I'm gonna show you guys that new setup today too, along with this BugOut fishing setup that I got. All right, before we get into the bed of the truck, let me show you what I changed back here in the back seat area. So as you can see, I've got my refrigerators out. So if you follow along the channel, the last video where we deleted this, I had a big thing built back here with storage in it, and I have my camp refrigerator strapped down, and I kind of wanted to go to more of a simple way to do this for everyday riding. So I do ride around with my Yeti with me now. I don't, you know, it's one of the small 20s, so I don't have to worry about it being too heavy. And I've got it kind of strapped down to this floor that I built with these little J hooks. So if I want to throw the Yeti in the back of the truck, I can do that and still have this whole area back here. Let me show you from the other side how much room you actually get in these Tacomas when you remove the back seat. So if you're like me and you don't use the back seat of your truck, which I didn't, you know, nobody ever sat back there. It's just my wife and me and my dogs that are ever in this truck. So I took them out, and now I've got this huge area. And it's even hard to tell on camera how much room I've actually got back here, but I've got my BugOut bag, I've got hammock stuff, drop quilt, all kind of cool stuff back there. It's still room for more stuff, but it's more simplified this way, I think. I've got this huge area for the dogs to ride, or if I'm bow hunting, you know, this hunting season, I'll be able to set my guns back here or my bow back here and just have that room. If I don't want to run the Yeti, like I said, I can just take it out and have a full flat platform back here for hauling stuff. I really love that new setup. That platform is working out great. All right, so now let me show you the cool stuff, the stuff that I've spent all day in the garage working on. So the first thing is the Diamondback cross bin. Let me open this hatch up. So this hatch has got that safety lock on it where I have to reach under here. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. Probably not. I have to use the camera. There we go. So the Diamondbacks, if you're not familiar with them, they've got this little safety latch. So when you first open this, to keep it from blowing open, if it accidentally opens going down the road or something, it's got a latch where it stops it here, and you have to push this in to get it to go further open. And then it opens about to right there. But check this out. This is called their cross bin system. And it's this bin that runs all the way across the bed of your truck, and it essentially makes it like you have a built-in toolbox in the bed of your truck. Let me show you from the other side. It's all aluminum, and they've got different depths. This is called the cross bin, I think number 8. But as you can see, it's got a ton of room. I put marine mat down that I had in the floor to kind of quieten it up so it's not, you know, stuff aren't kind of banging around back here if I'm off-road. It's got these little side storage areas here. That's where I got some of my Diamondback ratchet straps in here. I've got some extra gloves. I've got some boots. I've even got a sleeping bag in here, and it all sits right there in that cross bin. How cool is that? Man, look at how many leaves are already on the top of this truck. I've only been out here for like 10 minutes, and the leaves are definitely falling right now. But I got me some extra boots, some straps, my little track hooks, or whatever you call these that come with the Tacoma. But how cool is that? So now I've got like this little built-in, kind of a hidden toolbox back here. And it shuts just as easy. You shut it, you turn your latch, you lock it, and now it's sealed up, and you would never know that I had a toolbox on the back of my truck. All right, so now let's go to the cool stuff. So come back here. Oh, there's something I forgot to show you. Let me show you something else. You won't be able to see really because of the sunlight, but Diamondback also has these, excuse me, these built-in LED lights, or you can add in these LED lights. So you see this little box right here with the Diamondback logo? When you touch it, it turns on that LED light. So now in the dark, you know, if it's dark outside and I need to get something out of this little tool bin, I can reach up, touch that, and it comes on and it gives me just enough light to be able to see. It actually lights up this entire back side of this, the bed. And it's got like this safety thing on it, so I can touch it again to turn it off. Let's see if I can show you. So you touch it and it turns it off, but say I accidentally touch it and it turns it on. Well, it will automatically go off in 5 minutes. So if you forget and leave it on and you shut your box, it doesn't run your batteries dead. These things just run off 4 AA batteries. It's watertight seal. Very cool setup. I like that a lot. So I've got one of those lights here with the storage bin. Let me shut that back up. Now back here is the cool part. Check this out. So this is gonna be my new little BugOut fishing setup, and I've got other stuff strapped on there, but let me step back and kind of give you a view. And this setup is gonna be really cool. Let me show you what all I put on here. So the first thing I added was these track bars from Diamondback. I've got 2 of those, and that's what this molly panel is actually hooked to, are those track bars. But you don't have to use the molly panel with this. You can just attach stuff. Like, see how I got these quick fists with my little hatchet right here? I've got that hooked straight to that, and I can add more stuff to this gear track later if I want to. And then I got this molly panel set up. And another cool thing is I've added another one of those lights. Let's see if you can see it. So if I touch this, it turns the light on. And I got it kind of hid back there, so the light at night actually shines down into the bed of my truck. And if, you know, it's early morning and I'm getting hooked up and ready to go climb a tree, I'll have, you know, light back here in the bed of my truck to be able to see what I'm doing. And as you can see, that cross bin is right there, and there's still a ton of room under it. So it's not really taking up a whole lot of space up there. I can still use the full length of my truck. Like, I got the gun case back here. It completely slides in there with no issues. I got some chairs. I got a camping bag back here, but I got a cool little setup right here. So let me show you how I got this molly panel set up. So this molly panel you can get off Diamondback, and like I said, you don't have to run this with the Diamondback. There's a lot of images I found on Google of people buying just these molly panels from Diamondback, and they're mounting them like on the side of their truck, which I may end up doing that. I may get me a couple of more of these molly panels and put them on the sides of my bed right here, and have stuff on the sides kind of out of the way. But as for this one, I've got all on this one molly panel. I've got me knife set up, this old Bear Grylls knife that I had in the garage. I've got a rod tube here, and I'll show you why I've got that rod tube here in just a minute. I've got me a little tackle box right here. Just got some essential stuff in it. I kind of threw it together last night so I could show you guys how I'm gonna be running this. I've got a couple of walkie-talkies that I use for hunting. I've got my flashlight. I've got a retractable gear thing right here with some fingernail clippers on it. So if I'm rigging up a fishing rod or something, I've always got a way to cut the line. Got a first aid kit here, a little Guardian Angel light. It's magnetic. And that's a cool thing about this molly panel from Diamondback is the whole Diamondback is aluminum. Everything is aluminum. Even those gear tracks are aluminum, except for the molly panel. The molly panel is powder coated steel, and they do that so that you can utilize magnetic stuff with it. Like, this is magnetic. My flashlight, it's magnetic on the bottom, so I can actually stick the flashlight to it like that if I wanted to. So again, this is not like a full fishing setup, but I will show you really quick how I got it. So I've got this little, and y'all have seen me use this thing before several times. This little holder that I've got here is nothing but the same holder that I use on the side of my Hobie. I just kind of cut, this is the one that, it was actually a double Plano box holder, but I cut one of them off so this holds just one box. I didn't want to do 2 because like I said, I want to maintain using the space that I have here, this kind of wasted space essentially, and I didn't want to hang stuff way down where it starts impeding with space that I would be using up under this. So I've just got a little tackle box thrown together, just got some small crappie lures, some bobbers, some hooks and weights and stuff like that, a few small crankbaits, rooster tails, those are always good. In just about anywhere you go in the world, you can throw a rooster tail and catch something. But there's that little hook up right there, and then the rod is just this small little crappie rod. And I got it put together. And what's cool about it is it fits the exact length of my truck. I've got this little Abu Garcia spinning reel. It's like one of their little micro spinning reels on it. And it's nothing fancy. It's nothing that you're gonna, you know, pull a 10-pound bass out of something with. But if I see something that I wanna fish, I'm rigged up and ready to go. I can hop out of my truck, pop this off my little molly panel rack, cast it out there and be ready to go. That's what I like about this setup. And then when I'm done, I can just stick it back in here, lock it all up and be ready to go. Let me get it back over there. Just like that, and then I'll strap it down, be ready to go. I got a couple of walkie-talkies. But the reason I added this tube here, so say you're rigging up and instead of laying your rod somewhere, I figured I could stick one of my rod tubes right there, cut my line, tie my lure on, do whatever I need to do. Or if I'm backed right up to a creek and I want to sit on my tailgate, say I want to sit here like this and the creek is kind of right there where you guys are, I can throw this right here and have a way to keep my rod out of my hands if I'm fishing. If I see myself getting a bite, I can just grab this thing, set the hook, and catch a fish right here on the tailgate of the truck, which is really cool. I'm gonna test that out. I'm gonna drive up to Guntersville. At the state park, you can back right up to the water, and there's a few spots out there that I know I could catch some fish, and I would love to just be able to sit on the tailgate of my truck, have my rods right here behind me, and see if I can catch some fish like that. But then I got my first aid kit. Like I said, Guardian Angel, I got a fire extinguisher over there. This is a really cool setup. I'm gonna add more stuff later on. I only wanna put stuff up here, and if I add these side molly panels, I only wanna add stuff that is gonna be useful, that's gonna be compact, and it's gonna be something I don't mind carrying around with me. I don't want a bunch of extra heavy stuff that I'm never ever gonna use. All of this stuff I think I'm gonna use. You know, you got your emergency stuff right there, but the fishing tackle, the walkie-talkies, these are there for when we go hunting, and if I'm with somebody, I can talk to them from the tree stand. So you guys tell me what you think about this new setup. Let me know in the comments if you like this setup. If you see a potential for something that I don't see here, let me know. I always get some really good feedback from you guys. If your suggestions, man, y'all blow it out of the park with those suggestions. And lately, y'all have been blowing it out of the park with the subscriptions and the views and the shares. I mean, y'all have been killing it. I hit a record number high the other day for one day of subscribers gained. I think in one day I gained 525 or 530 subscribers in one day. That is a record for me. I really appreciate all the support, guys, all the shares, all the watching, all the likes. If all you can do is just hit that like button, it helps out a whole lot. You can always hit that join button up under my videos and become a member of the Yak Squad. It's what I call my followers there. It's kind of a $5 a month. You become a member of the channel and you kind of support me so that I can maybe one day do this full time and just make more videos for you guys. Right now, this is kind of a part-time gig. I still work a regular job, 9 to 5, but soon, I'm really hoping soon, if this channel grows, we'll be able to move on forward and do some other cool stuff, and I can just do this solely. The kayak camping trailer build, it is coming up soon. If you follow the channel, you know that this past spring, we built that double kayak trailer out of that old jet ski trailer. And I told you guys this coming fall, once the weather starts changing, we're gonna pull that trailer back in the shop and we're gonna convert it even higher. We're gonna add a second tier. I wanna put a rooftop tent on it. I wanna put some really cool camping areas there. I wanna put an annex around the top of it or a big awning that wraps around. Maybe that 270 awning that we got will go on it. But y'all stay tuned for that. I'm drawing up the plans. We're gonna be pulling that back into the shop and doing a whole nother build series on that. So step by step, we're gonna build out that trailer. So if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, guys. I upload every Monday at 6 o'clock Central. I'm from right here in Northeast Alabama, so I'm gonna do some adventures this winter too. So if y'all wanna see some camping content, make sure you're subscribed. And that's gonna do it for this week's video. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I'll catch you next week. Peace.